How y'all doing today? Welcome back. So, if y'all haven't checked out my, my mantra march video, you should go check it out. It's in my my playlist and stuff like that. But um, I hope y'all are doing a good day. I hope y'all having a good day. I hope y'all having a good day. I hope y'all have a good night. I hope y'all having a good week. Good March. You know, um, it's a fresh start. You know, um, February ended so quickly, and the main thing I was focused on was like the whole time was it was Black History Month, but I was focused on like my birthday, and once that went past, then February was just gone. Cause luckily, cause like my birthday is at the end of February, so pretty much the only way for me to get to my birthday is to get through most of February. So, um, you know, it went by so fast though. So but we're in March now, so it's good to um, have a fresh start. Stay strong. Motivate yourself for March, in April, in May, in June, July, the whole year. But yeah, I'm not gonna waste your time. Uh, we gonna get into it. It hurts sometimes. I'm trapped in my mind, but sometimes I feel like the mountain's too high. I'm trying to fly, but he's sucking me dry. I will never ever win because I got God on my side. The Lord knows me well, and he's blessing me still. I'm gonna succeed, and I'm gonna learn when I fail. I might not always smile, and true, it's been a while, but I'm going the extra mile to beat you in style. I hope y'all enjoyed that. You know, we go through pains every day. Um, every day that you deal with stuff and you keep dealing with it and you keep dealing with it and you keep dealing with it makes you stronger and stronger. That's the only thing we can do. We can only deal with our mess. We can only deal with our shit, and we can only, you know, get through it one day at a time. I mean, there's really no other way to do it. I mean, certain people like to kind of get into they like to kind of get into situations that will keep them from dealing with it, that will prevent them from dealing with it, and they kind of bank on that. So they don't have to face what's really going on with them, or they don't have to feel the pain of what's going on. They'll either inflict it on others, or temporarily temporarily make themselves happy. Whether it's from drinking or just or other things like the drinking, drugs, stuff like that. Um, don't get me wrong. Some people do these things, for the fun, but most of the time that people go out and do it, it's because something is going on. A lot of usually um, something is going on for them to want to want or need for that. But most of the time, they'll tell you that they're fine, and they'll tell you that that's not true. That I'm doing it because I'm just having fun. But I mean, it's okay to do it. Do it responsibly. But if it becomes a situation where you need it and you're doing it more consistently and more frequently, then there probably most likely is a problem there. I'm not gonna say that for everything, but for every time, but more times than not, that's usually why. And when you think about it, we're all going through things. We're all in pain, in some form of fashion, and the only way to get through it and to not feel it as much is to go through it, try to find a way to get better at dealing with it, to understand like what it really is. And sometimes the people around you aren't able to help you in that sense. They can help you as much as they can, but it's really about um, controlling what you can control. And the fact that we can't control everything makes us go crazy. It makes us go crazy. So certain things happen to us that we can't control. That gives us a certain feeling of just helplessness and hopelessness. It's kind of frustrating when you can't do that. But, at some point, you have to learn that not everything you want to happen is going to happen. And not everything that you deserve to have happen is going to happen. And there's some things that happen to you that negatively impact you that you can't do anything about. So the best thing to do is to find a way to handle it,
Got anything white need washing?
to handle it um responsibly, respectfully, and in a more constructive way. Because if you don't, like, that's like you go further and further. Like, you get what you give out, what you put out. So the way that you respond to adversity or just tough in trial times, the way you respond to it, that shows your character, your level of maturity, that shows your growth, all that. So, and some people, um, when adversity hits, they shy away, they face it, or, or they kind of just stand there like they don't know what to do. And in that situation, it's not really your fault at that time. So if you're one to kind of shy away from it, that's at that moment in time, that's the best you could do with what you're given at that moment in time, or the best you could do with who you are as a person at that time. If you're the type to go through it, That's that's fine too. You know, you don't always, you shouldn't always go into it head first. Sometimes you do have to think before you go, because there's some situations where you could go in head first without thinking about it, and you end up worse off than you did before you even did that. So sometimes it's better to think first and then go, but sometimes it's better to go and then think after. Because if it's a do or die situation, more times than not, you're probably going to think. You're probably going to do first and think, because you're using your survival instincts, your will to live, or just anything to get you through that. But then there's a situation where it might not be as dire, it might not be as do or die, where there's a chance, like, if it's you know for instance, if it's somebody else who's in trouble, if it's somebody else who's down like that, there's situations where you have to think first, and then there's situations where you gotta go. Like, for instance, if somebody is drowning, your first instinct is probably to jump in and save them real quick. But what if, they're struggling and drowning, and, well, obviously they're drowning, but what if you're trying to get them, and then they start freaking out, and then they're struggling to keep their head above water, and you're trying to hold them, you're trying to hold yourself up, and it doesn't do either of you any good, because they're struggling to stay up, and they're pushing you down, trying to hold themselves up. So you both may end up drowning at that moment in time. So sometimes in situations like that, your first instinct is to jump in and save them first and foremost. But then sometimes you really have to think, like, maybe there's something that you could use to help you. You got to think real quick. Something you could use to help you get them without putting yourself in immediate danger or harm, and you could still save them. So, um, sometimes you really have to think. You have to think in both situations. You have to think or do. Like, you have to have both type of scenarios in mind. You can't just always think first. You can't always overthink, overanalyze. And you can't always just go into everything without having a plan. So, in other words, basically, like, you can't just think and think and think, and then by the time that you actually act on it, it's too late. They're already gone. And you can't, like, overdo, or you can't just go in head first, because then you could put yourself in more danger than you had expected to, and you're both gone. So both situations could put you in a disadvantage. So, just think it through. Just go through. Um, just have a plan. Um, you are in control of your own life. You are in control of your. You are in control of your own life. You are in control of your own destiny. Sound like one of those motivational speakers on TV. It sounds cliche, but it's true. And the more that you put forth that mentality, you know, the better it will be for you. your mindset will change. Your mindset will get stronger. You'll be able to handle things better. You'll be able to deal with your stuff. You know. Yeah. So I'll have another video up soon. You know. You know the deal. um this is one of the things that really like I enjoy, and I've been my focus, consistency, staying strong. I get better and better at this, as you can see through my conversations and through the way that I talk to you guys. You can see I'm getting better and better at it. Um, so you know, like for me, one of the things was public speaking. So when it comes to like going up in front of people and speaking about certain things, you know, there'd be certain things that I'd say that I'm probably saying now, but I'm in more control of it. Um, I still kind of say it like I don't know if y'all have counted how many times I say it, in my videos, or how many times I say or you know and I did it again, or you know what I'm saying, so something like that. And but I don't want to just sit here and be like, even though that is probably better, but it it's a bunch of fillers. But I think I've made a note of it, and I've gotten better at it. So that's part of me dealing with my insecurities as a person, and um, you know, dealing with it, manning up to it, owning it, accepting it. Well, not really accepting it, but I guess it is accepting it, because you have to accept it first in order to change it. You have to accept that that's something that you do, and then be willing to change it. And that's what I focus on. So I'm gonna have another video up pretty soon, and you guys should stay tuned. Appreciate you guys. You And yeah, I'm gonna see you guys later. Peace.